in the first election debate. Good evening and welcome.
Don't have a work permit which says they're entitled to be in that region, then you are...
Immigration policy needs to be put in place to actually...
To 2 million across a decade, it's too much. I want us to bring immigration down.
We've had about the future policies of this country. I was really struck with a number of questions, but particularly...
Well, I don't want to claim a victory for Brown. All I'd say is that he has shown himself very comfortable and very at ease with this format, certainly performing a darn sight better, if I may say, than he sometimes comes across at Prime Minister's questions in the House of Commons.
Who won?
David Cameron won. I've only seen one survey at the end so far, but he was well ahead in that survey, and I think he won the debate. I think he showed he can be a Prime Minister. I think his answers, in particular on the National Health Service, on discipline in schools, on immigration, showed what a change he would bring to this country, and that's what he wanted to get across.
The audience suggest they came to the same conclusion.
Tories say he was a bit too aggressive tonight. Do you think that's true?
I think because we get less exposure in between elections, I think the public were not as familiar with him as they are with David Cameron and Gordon Brown, but they've seen the personality now, and I think this came across in a very attractive way, very calm but very passionate about the things he and we as a party feel strongly about. I think it was a very successful debate for him. Who did work?
Obviously they've had an awful lot of coaching before they went to tonight's debates, and some of it has paid off for them, some of it hasn't. I think the fact that Nick Clegg has possibly been trained to actually look directly down the camera, I think that went too far and it will go against him. David Cameron was not very forceful, his hand gestures were not very dominant, whereas Gordon Brown's hand gestures were very emphatic, very dominant, using a lot of clenched fists and pointing the thumb forward. So if anybody was going to come out on top in terms of the dominant stakes and who was the more controlling and, if you like, the alpha male of the three, I think Gordon Brown came off the better of the three.
Your schools. I know what this job involves. I look forward to putting my plan to you this evening.
I think it's in these debates, and I hope they go somewhere.
In job centres, where there were skills that there were shortages of, that we needed people in this country. The Conservatives are not even given a number for that cap, so they can't tell us.
I have to say I've been warming to Nick Clegg. It's been very interesting to see him debate with Cameron and Brown on a level playing field and actually hear what he has to say. So often his voice seems to be drowned out. To hear him actually putting his position alongside the other two party leaders makes you realise that he has something to say.
As a voter in this country, I'm just really pleased to actually see them there on television, getting up there in front of us and defending their views. Because very often, when you vote in an election, all you get is this large document and no one ever ends up reading it, and then you just get the views of the pundits on television.
So they can't all come here at once. It's been too high these last few years, and I would dearly love to get it down to the levels it was in the past.
Would have made it worse, obviously, next year.
Told us.